There are moments when someone disrespects you, and the worst part isn't even what they said. It's what happens afterward. You drive home replaying the conversation. You think about what you should have said. You imagine saying something sharper. You wonder why you let them talk to you that way. And hours later, they're probably living their life like nothing happened, while you're still having the argument in your head. That's the part nobody tells you about disrespect. Sometimes the person who insulted you walks away with nothing, and you walk away carrying the entire experience. But what if the real victory isn't finding the perfect response? What if it's refusing to let someone else's behavior take control of your mind? Because there is a difference between defending your dignity and surrendering your peace. And Stoicism teaches us how to recognize that difference. The moment disrespect hits, maybe it's your boss speaking to you like you're incompetent in front of everyone. Maybe a friend makes a joke at your expense and everyone laughs. Maybe someone you love suddenly starts treating you like you're disposable. Maybe you've been left on red for days by someone who used to make you feel important. Or maybe someone simply crosses a line and expects you to tolerate it. And immediately, something inside you reacts. Your heart speeds up. Your mind starts building a case. How dare they? They can't talk to me like that. I'm going to show them. And that reaction is human. Stoicism doesn't ask you to become emotionless. It doesn't tell you to pretend disrespect doesn't hurt. It asks you to do something much harder. Pause before you give your emotions the steering wheel, because the first few seconds after an insult can determine whether you leave the situation with your dignity or lose yourself trying to prove that you have it. What is really hurting you? Here's what most people don't understand. The insult itself is only one part of the experience. The second part is the meaning you attach to it. Someone says, "You're not good enough." That's their judgment. But then your mind adds, "Maybe they're right. They don't respect me. Everyone must see me that way. I need to prove myself." Now one sentence has become an entire story. Marcus Aurelius repeatedly returned to this idea. External events do not automatically determine our inner state. Our judgments about those events matter enormously. And this is where Stoicism becomes incredibly practical. You don't control what someone says. You don't control whether someone respects you. You don't control whether a coworker appreciates your work. You don't control whether an ex regrets losing you. You don't control whether somebody apologizes. But you do have authority over something far more important: your response. Epictetus built much of his philosophy around this distinction between what belongs to us and what does not. Our choices, judgments, desires, and actions belong to us. Other people's behavior, reputation, and opinions do not. That distinction can change the way you handle disrespect. Lesson 1. Don't react at the speed of your anger. The first thing to do when someone disrespects you is simple. Don't react immediately. Not because you're weak, because you're strong enough to wait. Imagine you're at work. Someone makes a disrespectful comment about you during a meeting. Your first instinct is to fire back. You want everyone in the room to know you're not someone who can be pushed around. But before you respond, take a breath. Ask yourself, what outcome do I actually want? Do you want to solve the problem, set a boundary, protect your reputation? Or do you simply want them to feel the same anger you're feeling? Those are very different goals. Anger wants immediate satisfaction. Wisdom thinks about consequences. You can respond firmly without becoming reckless. You can say, "I don't think that's an appropriate way to speak to me." You can walk away. You can address the issue privately. You can involve someone appropriate if the situation requires it. Strength doesn't always sound loud. Sometimes strength sounds like a calm sentence spoken at exactly the right moment. Don't let someone else's lack of self-control become your lack of self-control. Lesson 2. Don't make their opinion your identity. This is where disrespect becomes dangerous emotionally. Someone treats you badly, and suddenly you start questioning your own worth. A person rejects you. You think you're unlovable. A manager overlooks you. You think you're incapable. A friend betrays you. You start believing you're difficult to care about. But one person's behavior cannot become the final verdict on your identity. Epictetus warned against giving too much importance to external reputation and the opinions of others. What belongs to other people cannot become the foundation of your freedom. Think about social media. You post something. Nobody responds. Another person posts something similar and gets hundreds of comments. For a moment, your brain whispers, "Maybe I'm not interesting." But nothing about your actual character changed. The numbers changed. The attention changed. The perception changed. You didn't. This is why self-respect cannot depend entirely on how other people treat you. If your confidence rises whenever people praise you and collapses whenever they criticize you, then other people are controlling your emotional state. A Stoic mindset says, "I will listen to criticism when it contains truth, but I will not allow someone's opinion to define me." That's a completely different kind of confidence. Lesson 3. Set boundaries without seeking revenge. There's a common misunderstanding about Stoicism. People think being calm means allowing everyone to walk over you. It doesn't. You can be calm and still have boundaries. You can forgive someone and still distance yourself. You can understand someone's behavior without accepting it. You can refuse to argue and still say no. Suppose a friend repeatedly insults you and then says they're just joking. You don't need a dramatic confrontation. You don't need to destroy the friendship publicly. You don't need to insult them back. You can simply say, "I don't appreciate being spoken to that way. If we're going to have a friendship, that needs to change." And then watch what they do. Because boundaries are not about controlling another person. They're about deciding what you will participate in. That's an important distinction. You don't say, "You have to respect me." You say, "If you don't respect me, I will decide how much access you have to me." That is within your control. And that is where your power lives. Lesson 4. Stop trying to make them understand your worth. This one hurts. Sometimes the person who disrespected you will never understand what they did. They may never apologize. They may tell the story differently. They may convince themselves that you deserved it. And if you spend your life waiting for them to finally understand, you have handed them another piece of your peace. Marcus Aurelius emphasized directing our attention toward our own actions rather than becoming consumed by the actions of others. So ask yourself, do I need their agreement to know who I am? No. You don't need your former friend to admit they betrayed you before you can move forward. You don't need your ex to admit they hurt you before you can heal emotionally. You don't need your boss to admit they underestimated you before you can continue growing. Sometimes closure doesn't come from a conversation. Sometimes closure comes from realizing you no longer need one. You don't have to win the argument to win your life back. Lesson 5. Let your character speak louder than your response. Imagine two people are insulted. The first immediately explodes. They yell. They insult the other person. They say things they regret. The second person stays composed. They recognize the disrespect. They respond if necessary. Then they continue living according to their values. Who has more control? The second person. Not because they felt nothing, because they refused to become someone they didn't respect. This was central to Stoic philosophy. Musonius Rufus treated philosophy as something that had to be practiced through character and behavior, not merely discussed as an intellectual idea. And that's the real test. It's easy to call yourself calm when everything is going your way. It's easy to say you're disciplined when nobody is provoking you. The real test comes when someone presses exactly the button they know will make you angry. That's when your character becomes visible. So the next time someone tries to provoke you, don't ask, "How can I hurt them back?" Ask, "Who do I want to be in this moment?" Because your response is part of your character. And no insult is worth becoming someone you don't recognize. Lesson 6. Sometimes walking away is the strongest response. There are people who don't want resolution. They want reaction. They poke. They provoke. They twist your words. They keep pushing until you finally lose your temper. And then, suddenly, the conversation isn't about what they did. It's about how you reacted. Don't give them that opportunity. Sometimes the most stoic response is to end the conversation. Not dramatically, not with a speech. Just, "I don't think this conversation is productive," and walk away. That isn't weakness. It's recognizing that your attention is valuable. Epictetus taught that freedom comes from not making your peace dependent upon things controlled by other people. Your attention is one of those things. Every minute you spend obsessing over someone who deliberately provoked you is a minute of your life they didn't have to earn. Protect it. Not everyone deserves access to your mind. Lesson 7. Ask the question that changes everything. When someone disrespects you, your mind naturally asks, "Why did they do this to me?" But that question can trap you, because sometimes you'll never know. Maybe they're insecure. Maybe they're angry. Maybe they were immature. Maybe they were having a terrible day. Maybe they genuinely don't respect you. Maybe it has nothing to do with you at all. You could spend hours trying to solve that mystery. Instead, ask a better question. What is this moment asking me to practice? Maybe patience, maybe courage, maybe boundaries, maybe self-respect, maybe letting go, maybe emotional discipline, maybe the ability to walk away without needing the last word. That question takes you from victim of the moment to student of the moment, and suddenly the experience has something to teach you. The turning point. There will always be people who misunderstand you, people who underestimate you, people who don't appreciate you, people who leave, people who betray you, people who speak about you without knowing the full story. You cannot build a peaceful life by trying to eliminate every person capable of disrespecting you. Because you don't control people. You control your participation. You control your standards. You control your words. You control your actions. You control whether anger becomes your personality. And this is where Stoicism becomes more than philosophy. It becomes freedom. The goal isn't to reach a point where nobody can hurt your feelings. The goal is to reach a point where someone else's behavior doesn't get to decide who you become. That's different. You can be hurt without becoming hateful. You can be disappointed without becoming bitter. You can be disrespected without becoming disrespectful. You can lose someone without losing yourself. And you can walk away from a situation without needing revenge, because your peace doesn't need their permission. Conclusion. So the next time someone disrespects you, before you answer, pause. Remember what belongs to you. Their words belong to them. Their opinion belongs to them. Their behavior belongs to them. Your response belongs to you. And that small distinction can change everything. You don't need to prove that you're stronger by being louder. You don't need to prove your worth to someone committed to misunderstanding you. You don't need to chase an apology. You don't need the last word. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is look at the situation clearly and say, "This person has shown me who they are. Now I get to decide who I am." That's the real Stoic victory. Not defeating another person. Defeating the part of yourself that believes you must react to everything. Because anyone can make you angry. Anyone can provoke you. Anyone can insult you. But your mind, your character, your response, those are still yours. And when you understand that, disrespect stops being a command. It becomes a test. A test of your patience, a test of your boundaries, a test of your character. And every time you respond with wisdom instead of impulse, you become a little harder to disturb, a little harder to manipulate, a little more free. So let people say what they want. Let them misunderstand you. Let them underestimate you. Your job is not to control their judgment. Your job is to control your life. And sometimes the strongest response to disrespect isn't revenge. It isn't proving them wrong. It isn't saying something clever enough to silence them. It's becoming so grounded in who you are that their opinion no longer has the power to move you. If you're building that kind of mind, calm under pressure, strong without becoming cruel, and grounded when life gets loud, you're in the right place. This is Stoic mindset.